As the airplane was landing, I was looking through the windows. I was like, I am in the United States.
My name is Selma, and I will be turning 16 in less than a month. I like to eat, sleep. Sometimes I binge watch, sometimes I go for walks, but I don't really do much. I don't have hobbies. I'm kind of too busy to have a life at school anyways. I'm always running around trying to get to class, or I'm either trying to finish up an assignment because I procrastinate and I go to sleep late and then I forget about it. Through elementary and middle school, I always felt like I stood out in that no matter what I did, I'd always be different. If I'm just like walking outside and I notice stairs, or if I'm with my friends and I can tell people are just staring more. When we're at the airport, if we're trying to go somewhere, then we get held up a lot and more questions are asked. And there have been times when I know a lot of my family members and friends, they've missed their flights because of these questions. You become so used to it and just keep moving on, you don't really care. But the only time when it does get to us mostly is when it doesn't just become stares, it's when they're holding us back in certain things, or if they're treating us differently than others, then it actually feels like we're just sitting back watching a screen. We can't do anything. You just gotta stay quiet. Well, there's not much to do. The damage is already done. Stereotypes have already been made. I feel like the biggest thing that does affect it is how the media portrays a lot of us. Turn on the news, first thing you hear, oh, those darn Muslims are at it again. You'll just hear stories about, oh, this terrorist attack, but if someone else were to have done the same thing, they won't call it a terrorist attack, they'll call it something else. It becomes a normal thing. You just turn on the TV and that's all you hear. And the odds of you to ever actually be killed by, hold on, this is a big number. The odds for you to ever be killed by a terrorist or a refugee is 1 in 46,192,893. You are more likely to be killed by a spaceship, literally.
My name is Suzanne Sukar. I am a business immigration attorney. We represent corporate clients who have foreign nationals that need work authorization in the U.S. We work on compliance issues for those clients, and basically anything that has to do with the global mobility of people, moving people from one country to another. So I grew up in Ann Arbor. I was born and raised here. I've lived here my entire life. I am a first generation American Arab. My parents were immigrants. My husband is an immigrant, so my children are now second generation Americans. I think that here in the U.S., the families try to do a really good job of keeping the faith as an important part of our daily routine because we are more of a minority here. And so as children went to Sunday school, and we would we would go and have our religion classes, our Arabic classes. It's very similar to what others would have in America. Islam is a religion of peace. We believe in Christianity and Judaism as the predecessor religions. Islam is a religion that followed after Christianity. For me, I don't feel the overt, I think, discrimination that other Muslims would feel because I don't wear the traditional hijab or the head covering. I know that I've had other family members who feel like they get different looks. One time my sister did say that she had someone tell her that she needed to go back to her country because she does wear the hijab. We're very fortunate where we live here in Ann Arbor because it's very diverse. So, I'm involved in a lot of different organizations. One of the organizations that I'm involved with that I was actually appointed to by Governor Snyder is called the Commission for Middle Eastern American Affairs. So it's not just religion, but there are other ethnic commissions. There is a Hispanic commission, an Asian American commission. A lot of community members have taken, I think, more active roles. Like in the local mosques, they would host community sessions, inviting people to come in. And those are great, but I think the people who are going to attend those sorts of events or open houses are people who are interested in learning more, people who are more open-minded. So I don't think you're going to necessarily touch upon people who have those sort of biases. I don't think that those people would be as open to going to such a setting to learn more. I think maybe having more engagement instead of hosting an open house between the different, the churches, the synagogues, the mosques, having more interfaith engagement. A lot of people really need to understand about women in Islam is that a lot of women actually hold positions of power. Going back to the times of the Prophet Muhammad, when the Islam was first started, women were leaders at that time. Women were given rights at the start of the religion and are carried on to today. So I think that that's one of the misconceptions that really we need to address, is how women are perceived. Wearing the hijab does not mean that one woman is being oppressed. It's actually a way for her to be able to express herself and her religion and her faith. And the same as, my daughter wears a hijab and I don't. It's both an individual representation of who you are and what you strive to believe in and how close you are with your faith and how you interpret it. And so, a perfect example, I'm the mother and my daughter is the one that wears hijab, and not me, and I'm the mom. So kind of that reversal. So I think that's important for people to understand as well.
I lived in Kuwait all my life until the age of 17. During the Gulf War, Iraq invaded Kuwait, but we decided to leave. We went through Iraq, we stayed there for a few days, and we moved to Jordan. It was a very rough time during that travel. I can see the agony on my dad's face and my mom. So I stayed in Jordan for a good 7 years after that, and I decided to come to the United States in 1998. My intention also to finish school at one of the university in the United States. I got married to my beautiful wife. My mom and her mom was old friends back in the days. From the time that I came until the 2001, I will say there was nothing to worry about. I was so excited. I was as the airplane was landing, I was looking through the windows. I was like, I am in the United States. This time it was just fine until what happened in September 11, and things started to take different snowball effect in a bad way. In a shell, I'll say, in a nutshell, or nutshell, can I say that? Or I think it is. You can see the eyes looking at you most of the time. You're walking with your family or at work. They know you're Muslim. I encountered one of the people after September 11 in a week. He was a friend of mine at work, but all of a sudden things took different turn. He came to me and he said, "Why you guys are doing this? Why you guys are doing that?" And I looked at him and I said, "Listen, John," I'm gonna call him John for now. I said, "Listen, John, I struggled to come over here. I waited in line. I'm in school. I got my house. I got my kids here. I have a nice car. I have a nice place to live. Don't think for 1 second all that work that I've been trying to do is to be destroyed. I worked so hard to get to that point. It would be foolish for me and for a lot of Muslims to destroy everything they have done back then. We look for the American dream. We look for what we are on right now for the community and to help and provide like everyone else, because we are part of it. This is our new life right here." I could not believe that a Muslim group will do such a thing. I always dreamed, and I can tell you, if you open the door to the Muslim world and ask him to choose a place to live, I will feel that at least 70% of them will have their airline ticket coming to the United States, because this is the dreamland for everyone. I would love to have that freedom of religion in effect, not just in the Constitution. I want to see the freedom of religion to impact on me and my kids, and I'm just hoping that everything will go well from today and up. There is a lot of things going in the horizon that I feel it's not so promising. It's a little bit terrifying at the same time.